What is up everyone, Barricade here and bringing you guys another episode of Gears of War lore. Today we're going to be talking about part 4 of the Hollow series. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. It just simply starts off right where the last chapter left off. We see that the Brumok is totally going after everybody and it seems completely hopeless. Jace goes in, guns blazing, but it wasn't really the greatest and smartest thing to do. That's the one thing I really liked right here. We can see he says, when the odds are stacked against you, when everything seems hopeless, sometimes the best strategy is just to take the problem head on, rush in with guns blazing and pray for the best. Other times, that's absolutely the stupidest thing you could possibly do. And we see that he gets blasted by the Brumok, but luckily, obviously he doesn't die. And he says right here, case in point, when you're fighting a Brumok without heavy weaponry. So that's pretty much the whole situation right here, is that they're being attacked by a Brumok. And yes, they are the squad of Gears Delta Squad, but they don't have the proper weaponry to take down a Brumok. It's just completely outclassed with power. So they're simply playing this kind of running and hiding game with the Brumok, keeping it away from Lily as she hides in the vehicle that John Boy gave to them in the last chapter. And they just cannot do anything against this Brumok. It just seems completely hopeless. They're basically running and getting shot at, and they don't have anything to counter it. But when all hope seems lost, luckily at the last second, we see the Brumok get hit by something. And we see that it's the freaking coal train out of nowhere with a boom shot to save the day. And they're like, wait, what the heck, Cole? Like out of nowhere. And it turns out that Barrett and Cole are here to help. And they distract the Brumok to get it off of everyone. They're running, and Barrett and Cole pick up Delta Squad and actually tow the vehicle that's been broken down ever since it got shot, the vehicle that is carrying Lily, and they simply drive at full speed while the Brumok is chasing them. And luckily, as they're running away, the Brumok shoots the wall by accident, covering itself in rubble. So they get away. They save, Delta Squad. Barrett and Cole totally save their asses. Now, as they get away, we see Jace, kind of a little bit of a panic. He's over here worried about Lily. And I really love this part because it shows kind of a really in-depth, sad thing about Jace. It is right here. He says, first thing I did was check on Lily. If something happened to her, if I'd betrayed that little girl's trust, I'd feel like a part of me died again. In this case, fate dealt us a decent hand. So we see that he kind of has a little bit of a memory once again of his parents after they were slaughtered by the Locust Horde. He just can't get it out of his head, and who can blame him? His parents were killed, but he really wants to save this little girl. He does not want to fail her, and he's happy to see that she's okay. And she says right here, I was scared, and he's like, it's okay. I was too. And it shows, when he found his parents. And he really relates to her because he's afraid that her parents are going to be dead as well. And he doesn't want her to go through this. So that's the one thing I really like about Jace in this chapter. He really shows that he cares about this little girl. And he wants to prevent her from going through the pain that he did. Really awesome thing for Jace here. After this, we see that Delta Squad is regrouping here, just kind of having ideas on what they should do, and they still want to continue with their mission, obviously, which is to investigate the seismic activity in Montevado. We see Jace and Cole kind of have a little bit of a moment here where he's talking about Thrashball and things like that, and he talks about his dad and how his dad really admired Cole. I'm guessing he might have been a fan of the Cougars. And then we simply see that they decide ultimately to send Lily back to Jacinto so she'll be safe, and Jace is going to do his best to find her parents. So now we see that she's being sent back to Jacinto with Barrett and Cole. Marcus and Delta Squad got lucky because while they were fighting the Brumok, Barrett and Cole were the only ones that heard his distress signal, so they came and saved them, and now they're just simply taking the little girl back to Jacinto, and they decided that they will send out a Raven to help them in a day. So Barrett and Cole are going to be gone for a little while Delta Squad investigates Montevado. So we see that they finally made it to Montevado on the bikes here, and they start investigating the area. It seems like a ghost town because no one is around. But, they're kind of a little bit of a loss here because one thing that they make a really good point is Barrick says something along the lines here. He says, how are we supposed to figure this out? We're supposed to just walk around and, look for seismic activity, just feel for it? And Dom makes a good point and says something here like, yeah, they didn't really give us any type of tools to actually, investigate it. So now they're just looking through the area to try to see what could be the source of the seismic activity. And now we see Delta Squad split up as we see Jace and Dom take the northern part of the town, while Barrick and Marcus take the southern part of the town. So now they're just kind of split up and investigating the area. And we have Jace here kind of wondering if they're going to find her parents. And Dom's like, not really too sure. Don't get your hopes too high. And they're just simply investigating it. But while they're looking through the area, we see that Dom and Jace find a stranded man who's in a bit of a panic. He's freaking out here, saying that, a few people are dead. There's only about a few of them left. And they need to get out of the town before it gets too dark, before it gets into nighttime. And then while we're going over that, we see that Marcus and Barrick over here having a conversation, and Barrick actually spits out some blood. And Marcus is like, whoa, like, you need to stop smoking. And he's like, it's not the smokes though. And what he means by that is simply he's not bleeding internally like that because of smoking. It's actually because of rust lung that was caused after the light mass bombing. He contracted rust lung, which is basically like a cancer-like illness that will eventually take your life. And now we get to see why the stranded man was in such a panic. He says, you don't want to be here at night. And now we see why. The city gets overrun by wretches when it is nighttime. So we see Delta Squad taking on hordes of wretches, and they seem completely outnumbered, but they're still holding their own. We see that this stranded man, in a panic, tries to run away. Jace warns him, tells him, no, don't run, stay put, stay with us. And we see why. He gets completely swarmed by this pack of wretches, and they tear him apart. And, well, there's nothing they can do for him at that point. So now we see them fight the wretches, but out of nowhere the wretches stop. They stop attacking them, and they actually run away. Dom is over here confused, saying, whoa, where are they going? And out of nowhere they start feeling the huge seismic activity, and the city of Montevado completely collapses out of nowhere. And this is where the chapter ends, where we see that they've been completely covered by rubble due to the city collapsing. For those who don't know, the major thing with this seismic activity is this is actually, once again, after Gears of War 1, but before Gears of War 2. And this city was actually destroyed by the giant worm that we see in Gears of War 2. But at this point in the story, they actually did not know that's what was going on. So we're going to go ahead and continue this with part 5 of Hollow in the next video. If you guys like this video, please definitely hit that like button and subscribe and tell me what you guys think. Overall, this chapter was pretty cool. The wretches part kind of creeped me out, the way that guy died. He got completely slaughtered. But if you guys like this video, let me know. Let me know if you guys like seeing these comic issues, if you want to see more of them. I'm going to keep making as much as I can, and I'm going to continue through every single comic book. But once again, guys, thanks for watching, and take it easy. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see any of my other content, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.